just putting together a timeline. Okay, I think I remember roughly, and you guys can remind me if I'm forgetting anything.
Sure. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. Last where we left off, um, we had picked up where we were inside of the little cultist encampment within the abandoned ruins of some sort of mansion or manor. Um, a lot of us were still kind of scanning the area for stuff when Binky, who had been able to leave her post, came rushing on in, and well, she had a little bit of difficulty finding us, and it resulted in a couple traps being triggered along the way that some of us were unable to hear and others of us didn't really care to hear. It resulted in the finding of some sort of water purifier, which was a wonderful find until Binky's hubris kind of got in the way, and the purifier was broken by her own explosives. Um, there was a couple other things that we found as well. Namely, I believe it was like a map that had located, or at the very least, sort of detailed some of the areas that our little bad guys, including Bagel fucking fled off to, which was very rude, very rude. But thoughtful of them to let us know that we could look for them. But there were more pressing matters for us as well, namely the fact that Binky is still cursed, which is unideal to say the least. But on top of that, we also kind of are in bit of a bit of a bad ways, and we could use the quote unquote break at the very least, buying things and getting ourselves ready for any future endeavors and whatnot. Atop all of that, um, it was around during the searching and everything that Angel was, for lack of a better term, completely unraveling into alcohol, and he ended up pissing off Apricity, which, through indirect means, resulted in Angel checking in on Apricity. He found out through her that, for lack of a better term, Apricity and by extension, Thea felt ignored, or at the very least, less important than the rest of the group. And Angel, taking that to something close to heart, later, when he sobered up a bit, decided to hash that out over dinner. And finally, is around the time that, well, Thea is here. So now we can actually, do that. So, yes.
Okay, you can take inspiration.
Heck yeah.
I will leave how you plan on talking to the other members of the party to all of your capable hands. I'm sure.
Okay.
So we did agree. The conversation we had happened, and it was just like Thea was sick.
Well, no, I mean, we can come up with any in-game reason. The idea of it, that I see it, is that we're essentially soft resetting the conversation, so she can also
Okay.
take place in it. Well, I guess a better, technically, the question would be better addressed towards actually you, Carly, and as well as Kat. Like, how do you want to play this out? Because I think that this is sort of an important thing for, namely, yes, like Thea, but also, um, I think the both of you talked about it. I can
I
set the
did know
stage,
that happened.
but
I don't have that issue personally. Or at least I don't think Fia does.
The way that Judah worded it in a way that was a little bit different. the way Apricity worded it is that they were rogue and doing things without consulting anyone else. It wasn't an I feel like we're being ignored. It was an I feel like you fucking idiots should consult other people before doing the things you do.
Mhm.
Which is an important distinction for the
That
sake of this
feels more
conversation.
fair.
You try playing telephone over the course of a week, bruh. I've been too busy dying in Baldur's
But yeah,
Gate 3.
that's how Apricity worded it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
She deliberately avoided saying like I feel like. It was a little bit more like, you know, maybe we should consult other people before we sniff something in a weird urn. Maybe we should consult other people before we stab someone in the leg. Maybe we should consult some other people before we do the shit we've been doing.
And by other people, she means exclusively Thea.
That's so funny. Just letting that sink in. Like, hello, you're all ignoring my Shayla.
Like, but don't talk to me. I'm not talking to anyone.
That's okay.
Oh my god.
Iconic.
This is
Iconic.
ridiculous.
But yeah, that was basically because like I know that Kat would have heard the way Judah worded it and been like, that's not what we talked about. But the way Apricity worded it is exactly that. And she left the other stuff that Thea and Apricity talked about out of it until Thea was there.
Well, we
Or
do know
until
Apricity's
something
being
else.
informed now. Woohoo!
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why I asked, because I knew that I was gonna get something wrong. So
No, it's okay. It's just the wording was a little bit ambiguous, and like it was a fair wording, but like Apricity deliberately worded it a certain way to be a little to not give everything away, but to also like
yeah.
talk about the core of the issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's sort of how I said it was more or less how Angel interpreted it.
And
But
Kat, for reference, the only reason it came out at all is because Apricity casted a harmful spell on Angel after he threw a bottle of liquor in her general direction.
Why would he do that?
He did not see where she was standing.
Oh.
And he was
Well, I
drunk.
I
guess
think we
that's fair.
played it like she was walking through the
But
doorway when
she
it like
still took it as a
splashed in the
personal
wall.
slight and attacked him for it because
Yeah.
that's what she
Right.
would do.
And then Angel, because he's very normal, was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." And then when she was being all silent, he was like, "Okay, time to poke the fox."
And Apricity did the other like relevant thing is Apricity, because of the conversation that you and I had, was like, maybe I should just be more open with my human form, and just had that conversation mostly in, or like at least parts of that conversation mostly in human form, to just kind of
I
like
was wondering
get-
why that icon was on the map.
Yeah, she was like, she said something to the effect of like, Thea says that if we're going to be traveling together, I should get used to doing this. Which was basically her thought. So that's why that icon
everyone was surprised. Everyone was
stark-
shocked.
Every single person. Nobody knew that form was there.
Pinky didn't.
I did it.
Oh, Pinky.
So that's basically the eventful things.
So, I guess I remember the traces of what I had kind of opened with and everything, but like, I guess how do we want to play this? Like, do I set the stage, or
Where are we right
Uh,
now? Are we still in the
we-
mansion?
No, we
Thank you.
were
You guys are
traveling
traveling.
back to the church, right?
Gotcha.
Well, we also like set up at camp? So,
If you
yeah.
want, we can do this one of two ways, and I think this is sort of the place we start. We can retcon the conversation that did happen last session and start it over as if Thea was here the whole time, or we can get back to the cathedral and have the conversation before we turn in our prisoners.
Yeah, I think we were kind of discussing that route last time, as we were thinking like we'll just pick it up at the cathedral, right? As like, okay, we'll give everybody time to think and then pick it up there is what we were thinking, as I recall.
That
Yeah,
sounds
but
fair.
I'm just saying it can go one of two ways. Those are the two ways that make sense for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Kat, you got a preference?
Well, I mean, I don't know what we're retconning because I wasn't there last time, and like, I forgot to ask
Basically,
you about the VOD, so I would be fine with it just being at the cathedral.
Yeah, basically, Apricity said something to the effect of like Thea's not feeling well. I had worded it like you were a little like squeamish about the bodies or whatever, like a little grossed out. She needs time to bathe or whatever, like get the dead off of her. So like, or
Yeah,
no,
that sounds
I said
fair.
I said it that you were really pissed. That you were pissed about not killing that guy.
Oh
Or
yeah,
getting the-
Bagel
Oh
Bog
my
and
the guy
god,
getting-
yes!
Bagel Bog and getting away. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Still
You're
pissed about that.
right. I worded it that something like that Thea's a little upset that that guy got away, so she just needs some time to cool off before she can have rational discussion. Which I think is funnier. Sorry, I
his voice
misremembered.
helps us.
Didn't expect to give Fia my anger issues, but I guess here we are.
It was Bagel Bogan.
I miss
I
that
hope he
guy.
dies.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we'll
we can
see
pick
him
it up
again.
at
Mhm.
we can pick it up at the cathedral then, basically before we hand off our prisoners of
That works.
war.
The cathedral, or would I like it is a week's travel? Would you wait that long?
Angel ultimately doesn't care. As long as his party doesn't attack each other, he's good.
Thea was very, very livid about Bagel Bog and getting away. It took a week to get to get over it.
Like we
Days.
could have it on a different day of travel, but like Apricity won't push the issue. Like
I mean, we could also weave in the conversation of what happens after our this current mission / quest is done, right?
True. I mean, as a group, we have
Right.
yet to decide whether we're really traveling together. I guess in that sense,
Yeah,
or at least
exactly,
open
so, like-
conversation.
Those two conversations can kind of, connect.
There's only one thing along the way that I would want to be done, but it is not a big thing.
What's that?
Shathur would, like a day or two later, walk up to Thea and then hand her a necklace.
Oh yeah!
Setup and payoff.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's all.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Butch
We're gonna
Ariana
give
Grande.
that to Alyssa, right?
That was for Alyssa, yes. You had asked
Yeah,
Shathur
yeah.
to make it for her. And it's well, actually, is there like a
Did you,
check I
make
should roll
rolls
for
for
how
it? Oh.
good this necklace is, Storm?
Did you make it with your ability?
Yes.
Then no.
Okay.
Uh,
I know it can't do like very, very precise things, so.
let me read.
But if that's too big a deal, I can just roll for it as well. He could have made it by hand.
I think it's one of those odd ones, isn't it? Where it's like doesn't give the details of how good it looks.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it does mention
Yeah.
Is it a ritual? You know what? For the sake of this, I will say you can make a roll. For
what kind of
Smiths.
roll?
Smiths.
Oh,
Nice.
I mean, that's a
That's
little.
fine.
That's above average.
Yeah.
Still good.
it's fine. It's fine. Fine.
14's still good. For the
It's
level.
okay. The big ones hurt.
It's a nice looking. What was it?
Yeah, it's a
The
necklace, and he did
necklace?
actually. He did use some of the little magical shards of whatever that water cooler was.
There's like just like inlays of kind of like a sparkling gold necklace. A few quartz gems kind of embedded within the actual necklace themselves. Unsure whether or not they are real, based on the method you used, since it was like a conversion. But it looks pretty.
Today, let's go.
Could be.
But yeah, somewhere around the travel, Shither will just tap Thea on the shoulder.
I think have the conversation, like a few days after during travel.
Yeah,
My
he
opinion.
would have been doing other stuff, making other things. For he got
No, I
distracted.
meant like the group
The
chat.
conversation.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm not the. I can't push the. I have Alyssa, so I can't push that conversation.
Alyssa, what do you think we should do about this?
Be
We should fucking
assertive.
kill all the cities.
Burn it all
Fucking kill
down.
ourselves.
I like it.
Kill everyone now.
We got. She picked up that symbol of the what was it, of destruction or whatever, and took it to heart.
Legalize cannibalism. Eat shit.
Eat the rich.
She tasted blood
that's
and
what
now
I
she
said.
wants more.
I respect it.
Well, she was the first kill.
True. She's a natural.
I forgot about that.
And it haunts her to
Poor
this
Alyssa.
day.
We know.
Man.
Oh yeah, he comes up and he'll hand over the necklace to her.
Oh,
No, to Thea.
oh,
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
you're right.
Thea asked for this.
Oh, I paid you for this, right?
Yeah, plenty.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you get compensated for your work, but thank you. It
Of
looks
course.
really good.
Thank you. Let me know what she thinks of it.
Do you want to go with me to give it to her?
I don't think that would be wisest.
Why is that?
He shrugs.
Well, if that's your preference.
Fades away.
That's how he leaves conversations. His transparency slider gets increased.
Now, do I give it to her now or when we get to the cathedral is the question?
Now it's on you. Good luck.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like
Yeah,
making
fuck.
decisions.
That's why I'm saying do it after the group conversation so we can have that RP so Heath can leave.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Again,
sense.
I'm not that dead. Like, I can stay a
Okay.
couple hours. I mean, I don't want to rush it. If I'm
Alright.
not interacting, I'm okay.
Alright, if you wanted to hand it now, that's fine.
Nah, I'll do it after.
I want to know what the watches will be, because I assume that's how conversations happen. You don't have to actually have any RP, I just want to know who's on what watch. Because if it's the standard that's been so far, Alyssa, I think, ends up with the watch on Chauffeur, and
Yeah.
I don't know how that goes.
I also don't know. It's up to her how that goes, actually. But Chither will take the last watch. That is what he usually prefers. So,
Angel doesn't have.
up to her if she
preference.
chooses a different one.
I think she just leaves the watch decisions to the party.
I say we implement a randomized list.
Sure.
I'm doing it. All right.
Like every
Names.
night or just for this week?
I don't fucking know. I'm just doing it for the one. And if it becomes a habit, we'll see. Angel. The Anapricity, should I loop you guys in together always and leave you out of the list, or like what's the vibe?
Loop us into the list. Randomize is funny.
True.
My god, Apricity's doing watches again? Huge.
Yeah, I was wondering
Honestly,
about that.
Honestly, I feel like Angel is low-key the type to just like approach people and see who gets the short end of the stick, literally. Let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually just had a bunch of fucking sticks and was like, "Yep, pull one."
Mhm.
Draw straw
I'm not saying
style.
what.
Honestly, and he totally rigs it every time. Not like he just for fun. Like sometimes he gives himself the short end of the stick, but other times it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, Apricity will offer to do a regular watch.
Huge.
Whatever people decide.
Did I?
She's been replaced.
Timson, Binky, Angel, Thea, Pristy, Alyssa, and Thea. Wait, I already put Thea once. Who the fuck am I? God. Should have left it to a bitch that's better at counting. Shit, hard. Okay. Everybody's here. Alright. The seeds are Apricity
Did you
and
put Alyssa
Alyssa.
on there? Okay, you did.
Yes. Apricity and Alyssa, Binky and Shithar. Thea and Angel.
Why?
And then, because there's 7 of us, Tim.
I don't think he'd agree to that.
He's like,
you
no.
Hey,
Well, you gotta negotiate.
I'm making this canon right now. You guys got the short ends of the stick.
Apricity would say in Shithar's mind when that happens, "Would you like to switch?"
If you don't mind.
You kept my secret when it mattered. I figured I owe you at least this much, and Binky's amusing. And I don't worry about her taking me apart.
Being the red-headed stepchild here.
And the only people who can hear what she said are obviously Shithar and Thea.
Hate it here.
Angel's just watching with amusement.
He just nods once.
First watch is it would be Binky Apricity.
Sure.
Ayo.
Whenever
Apricity
you
will
wanna.
curl up and pretend to nap. I don't know how convincingly.
Binky is squinting because she can't see in the dark. Looks over towards Apricity. Slowly crawls over.
It's a fucking commando crawl, just.
I'm more picturing like when the
Alright.
toddler go towards the cat.
Her hair involuntarily goes up on her back.
Apricity! Apricity!
Hello.
Hi, are you able to see in the dark?
Yes, are you not?
Nope, I cannot see anything. So I was thinking probably not good. She pauses for a second. Actually, no. Maybe it is good that I'm the only one watching. Don't listen to me, please.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And I guess she kind of does like a finger tapping together. In the meantime,
It's like the two index fingers, like the pleading
Yes.
emoji. Okay.
Yes. Could I also maybe brush your fur?
You may.
Yes.
She'll like
She's-
sit up on your lap.
She is holding in the squeal of joy as she starts to brush her fur. Upper Stake, do you mind if I ask for your advice on something?
You may ask for my advice on anything.
Perfect. So, I mean, knowing you, you're probably just well liked by everyone, right?
Naturally.
Fucking Christ.
So,
no!
so how do you do that? Because I feel like, yes, of course, there's the curse causing some problems, but I feel like naturally just me being myself has been causing some discomfort with some of the people in the group, and I want to know how to be liked like you.
Are you referring to how Shathur feels about you?
Yes.
I wouldn't take it personally. I have a funny feeling that there are many Shathur does not like.
Are you sure? I feel like he's best friends with everyone, you know? But I'm the only one he just really wants to talk to.
I think a good starting point would be perhaps to treat him like you would any other human, regardless of the body that he carries himself in. I know that your mechanical mind wants to take him apart to see how he works, but I don't think he likes that.
Huh. Well, see, the thing is, that is me treating him like everyone else. Like, obviously, I can't do it to a person because it would kill them. But if I mean their opportunity arose and I knew it wouldn't kill the person, I'd be just as interested.
Could you imagine if you were walking along one day and you met a new person, and that person happened to be a doctor or a cleric, and they wanted to cut out your eyeballs to see if they could put them back in? Would you be willing to undergo this kind of treatment?
Would it hurt?
Yes.
Well, if it hurts, then no. But if they're just doing it for scientific, research or curiosity, I'd see no problem.
I have learned a lot in my life and retained almost none of it. One of the things that I have learned is that you can hurt people in ways that aren't always physical. I think Shathur is perhaps a bit prideful, and it would hurt his dignity to be taken apart, I believe. We are not anywhere close to being best friends. I do not know the inner workings of his mind. However, if I were to hazard a guess, I would say that he does not like to be indignified in any way. So when you ask him things, scientific curiosity or not, be sure to take his dignity into account.
So that's where I'm like confused, because I've always, vocalized like how fascinating and amazing I think his body is. That's the whole reason why I'm interested in, disassembling it.
Yes, but take it from his perspective. He doesn't know your intent for sure, and how could he? You've just met. You're strangers.
I guess then, how would you go about just. Well, I've sort of, tossed aside the idea of dismantling now that I know that it makes him uncomfortable, but I think it feels like the damage is already done, so I don't know how to fix it moving forward.
I think you just give him space, respect his dignity and his privacy, and should he... I mean, it's very clear from the Speak of Omens earlier that we will all be stuck together by happenstance or otherwise. And, you're not going anywhere, he's not going anywhere. We're going to have to learn to get along one way or another, much to some people's dismay.
So, I should not talk to him at all until he does?
I think that would be best. You can talk to him about things relating to what we're doing. We should all be a little more open with each other, but perhaps leave out the personal things, like you're brushing my fur because I allow you to. Perhaps don't ask him questions of that nature. Try to avoid personal things and just keep it strictly business for a while.
Strictly business. I'm not great at that. I mean, I run my own business back in the city, and a lot of the times that involves with me upsetting customers or upsetting the guard. Um, so I guess even in business situations, I don't really do that well. Uh,
Shathor understands that the majority of the time he knows you, you have been cursed. I'm sure he is a reasonable enough man that this will come into account with how he views you. If I'm honest, I'm not sure Shathor views any of us particularly positively, but he is stuck with us, so...
really? I thought he was best
Yeah.
friends with everyone.
I don't get that impression.
Man, I really am bad at this. Alright. Oh,
If it
that's gonna
makes
be
you feel
hard.
any better, I am not much better.
What?
But
No!
that's a secret.
I don't believe it. I feel like your presence lights up everyone's day.
I appreciate your kindness. Unfortunately, between Thea and I, she is much more luminescent than I.
Thinks about it for a second. I guess I just have to get to know her more. spoken with
sure
you a
you
lot,
will
so I
love
can
her.
definitely see it.
I'm sure you
Say
will
that-
love her.
I bet. I don't really often come across people I don't like. Well,
She squints for a moment.
except Bagel Poggin.
Thea did not care for him either.
You know, that's a great a topic starter then.
I believe so.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for all your advice, Apricity. I really appreciate it.
Just give Shathor space. He will warm up to us. He strikes me as a reserved man. Eventually, those reservations will fade, much like mine did. And the unfortunate thing for Shathor is he doesn't have a pretty angel whispering in his ear telling him to be more open with people around them.
You know, yeah, alright. I'll keep that in mind then. Oh, that's gonna be so hard, but I'll do my best. I will keep distance, try not to interact unless spoken to. Oh, it feels kind of mean though.
Just let him come to you. He will. I'm mostly sure of it. At some point.
Laws of probability and all that.
Alright, you're super smart, so I'm gonna follow your advice.
I think we are both quite intelligent in our own fields.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I did learn from the best.
And who did you learn your craft from?
Oh, my parents. They're both super smart, super intelligent and creative, and just they've made such big changes in the inventory field. It's
There's like a big like sparkle to her eyes. She's talking about it.
And you know what they say about genius and madness.
put them together and it makes it cuter. That's what they always told me.
I'm sure they did. God, Binky's so cute, I can!
Smiling to herself, she'll continue to watch us petting her, brushing her.
I loved that. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Second watch is Ilissa, Thea, Angel, maybe? Or wherever Thea was placed. Not Thea. Ilissa was placed.
Alyssa was
Oh,
placed with Apricity, who Shathor swapped with Shathor.
Oh, so I thought it was with Thea. Both of these
No,
options are
so-
terrible.
We can still switch around.
It was
I have a
yeah, the
feeling we're
original
defeating the purpose
original
of the
seeds,
randomizer.
The original
No,
seeds
because
were
it gets
Apricity,
conversation going.
Alyssa. It was originally Apricity, Alyssa, Binky Shathur, Thea, Angel, and then Tim.
Got it.
Look,
So,
sometimes you
yeah.
don't know what you want, but you know what you don't want, and you can work around that.
You know what? Shathur only heard swap with me and get away from Binky, and he agreed, and then it's canon.
Wow.
Like,
I
well,
think
Apricity wouldn't have offered to swap if she knew that Shathor was uncomfortable around Alyssa, but I think she's been like apathetic enough that she hadn't picked up on it. So she's just like,
it's
yeah,
not
you like
also
Alyssa enough.
necessarily that Shathur is uncomfortable around Alyssa, but
Yeah, but like a Persidi would have been around for that conversation with Thea where Shathor was like, "Oh, you give it to her. I don't want to do that." Like there was like an obvious discomfort there. She wouldn't notice. Like
So wait. So
You have a list. Can
I,
you just type it? Cause my brain can't comprehend.
yeah,
it's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry, one second.
We're doing this watch, Shathur and Alyssa. It's fine.
I believe it totally won't be weird. It's fine.
So Alyssa swapped with Binky. Okay, cool. Okay. What would Shazza be doing?
Sitting, standing, watch. Not much.
After some time, Alyssa will make her way over. Just kind of sit, like on a log, like a 5-10 feet away from Shazza.
5 feet away
Yeah.
because she's not straight. Sorry.
She'll kind of look out into the, I guess where he's looking out into, and then, she'll like lean on her hands, just like prop her arms up on her knees and like lean onto her hands and kind of say, are you okay?
Fine. Why?
Just, with everything that happened, I just wanted to make sure you were right.
I lived. Got everything all fixed up.
Right.
You doing alright? I know you took a nasty blow.
Well, for the most part, yes, I'm fine. Physically.
Mm.
Mentally, it's been a bit rough, but I'm making do. I just noticed as you were going around that, well, I guess I can't really say that I know you too well, but you just seemed off at the manor after the fight.
He shrugs. I suppose.
You were, or?
Well, no one's the rest after going down.
Right. Well, look, I don't really want to push it if you say you're okay, then I'm glad you're okay.
Appreciate it anyway.
She will nod, and then she will stand up and stretch awkwardly before picking a different side of the camp to just kind of sit back down and watch over. And I assume Shasta doesn't approach her for the rest of the night.
Yep.
Cool. I don't know if they are an angel had any LP. If you guys had anything.
Not
Eh?
not particularly. Angel has he's given his prolific history with drinking. I think he's just casually enjoying to himself one bottle tonight.
Oh, if he's drinking, she might talk to him.
I think if anything,
Did I think
then,
that or did I say that?
you said that.
Okay. What did I say?
You said
You
if
said
he's drinking that you're probably gonna talk to him.
Oh, yeah. What?
Angel would speak up first. He would just casually fish out a cup because there's no way he's taking around glasses in this type of setting, and he's just gonna hold up a cup and hold the bottle that he had been taking swigs from, and he's just care for some.
Yeah, why not? She like sit down next to him.
He lets a small chuckle and he'll tip the bottle, filling it up about halfway, a decent little bit, before passing it over to her and taking a swig from his own bottle as he continues going. And it's just, oh gosh. My oh my, am I glad that I found this.
What is this?
Yeah. Hell if I know. After the fifth or sixth bottle, I stopped giving them the smell test.
What, is that how many you've had tonight?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I had earlier this evening.
Oh, naturally.
I stashed
What is-
away, what,
Sorry.
20 bottles, I want to say. I don't remember. All I know is that I maybe went through a couple. I plan on rationing it. I don't want to get too, I don't want to have too much fun in between the travel.
You brought this with you?
Yeah, why not?
Is it not heavy?
Yeah. Some things are worth the wait. Why? Are you offering to use that funny little power of yours to float it for me?
I suppose I could make it weightless. But you don't seem to have an issue carrying it, so I don't see why I would.
Ah, well, when you do mention that, and he reaches up and with his one arm and he grabs his shoulder and he rounds it out a bit, swinging his arm, and he winces with a real big quirk to his lip, and he just says, "I have been sort of having a bit of arm pain."
Can I insight
And
check
he's-
that?
Yeah.
But do you do like RP inside, or am I supposed to just?
Oh no! Go for it. It'll be a fun thing either way.
Okay, well, my insight's not good, but okay.
See. But here's the thing. I think in this case, because here's the thing. I'll just do it. He's giving a decent, his decent impression of the pity a limping dog might produce. And for a moment, it's like you're not entirely sure how much he's putting into it, but it's still gaudy. Like, and he like even like sometimes like when you look at him and as you're like trying to examine him, he like stops and looks at you, and then he continues some more. Yeah.
Storm, would the manipulate gravity spell work on the entire, like, is it like in a bag, or where do you carry the bottles?
I feel like
Or
he
would it-
very unceremoniously threw a bunch of soft things that he could find inside of like a rucksack or something, and he just put the bottles in there so they wouldn't all crash if he decided to move faster than like a walking speed.
Would it have to be on individual items inside the bag or sack or whatever?
Manipulate gravity? I don't think you have that spell.
It's
Oh,
a
wait, that
cantrip.
one.
You
The
gave it to me.
cantrip one.
You
The
wrote
cantrip one. I was reading Magnify and I was like, where the fuck is Manipulate?
it. Oh.
I found it. Yeah, the bag would probably be way too heavy.
Oh yeah, it's no more than 10 pounds. I didn't read
Yeah.
that. I mean, she can have 2 instances of this active, so I guess it could be 20 pounds.
Yeah. You'd also constantly have to be doing the somatic component. But
What do you mean?
you'd constantly have to move your hands as if you're casting Manipulate Gravity.
Where
For the
does
whole
it say
time.
that?
It just has a somatic component. So you know how come spells have a verbal material and
Yeah, I thought that would only be like
how
when
long does it
you
last?
initially cast it, not the entire. It doesn't have it.
The duration is...
That's an interesting thought. I wonder if concentration spells or spells that have a duration require.
Immediately.
Well, probably not, because invisibility is like that.
I guess there wasn't set a time. Oh, it'll be 1 minute, so it'll be fine. You'll have to do it every minute.
Now we're giving it a time limit, bruh.
I can change it.
Oh. Man, it gets worse every hour.
I mean, I'd need to recast this, but I could alleviate some of your troubles for a while.
Not all of it.
How much does it weigh?
He just lets out a.
How many bottles is in there?
Oh, man. I guess that fight back over there messed me up more than I thought.
Well, no one told you to bring it.
I had to.
You're doing it to yourself.
You know, if you don't want to help an injured man, that's all you have to say.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he just raises his hands in a placating manner. The quote unquote limping and wincing and hurting has completely stopped.
I mean, I can carry some of them for you, but you're gonna have to ask Capricity to make space in the bag.
And then you mentioned Apricity, and he's just, whoa. He's like, I suddenly just felt a lot better.
Oh, what a miracle.
Expect nothing less, Cloudy. Nothing less.
Damn, what does the alcohol taste like? What is it?
You tried some? What are you smelling?
Yeah.
It's
Angel gave her
ale.
some, right?
It's like crude ale. It's not the best, but it does the job.
Angel's been drinking it like it's water.
Do I have to roll something? Or can she just drink it?
You can drink it first bottle, fine.
Okay. The bottle? Oh, I said it with a glass.
Oh, is it
Slow
glass?
down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to get too crunk. I mean, Angel's drinking from a bottle, but that's because he understands his alcohol tolerance to a degree.
A gallon now.
Do you drink much?
Not anymore.
Ah, you used to.
Yeah, in college. You know what it's like.
Actually, not at all, really.
Well, it's a pain.
Really, at some point, just decided to take it on the road, see where it took me. When I was really young.
Is there a reason why you drink?
Because it's fun. Mostly, really.
That's fair enough. How do you feel about this whole thing? You know, this journey.
Well, I feel about it the way that I feel about most things. And that is, if there isn't anything immediately happening, I don't really try to concern myself of it. The way I see it, I'm in decent company with decent people, and as far as things have gone, nothing bad has happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm curious no more than the rest of us are as far as the plans for these gods and what they have for us, but otherwise, I'm happy. Whereas before, I was just doing the average, everyday odd job for whatever asshole with money could provide.
Can I ask you something more personal?
Sure, sure. What you got for me?
What did you feel when you killed those people? When you stabbed that guy? Did you feel anything at all?
His companionable smile droops a tiny bit to something more neutral, and of course, killing is never easy. Sure. And he takes his bottle into his hands and sort of kind of sloshes the liquid around near the bottom. He's about 3/4 through. The more you do it, there's a numbness, a tolerance, if you will. But doesn't stop you from feeling it every single time.
She would like put the cup that he gave her closer to him so that he pours her another.
He will consider it for a moment before he shrugs and acquiesces to let her have that last bit inside of that bottle. He eyes his stash for a moment, but he decides he will abstain from another bottle.
Just because I can't help it, you would feel a tug on your pant leg at one point. And you just see Reggie
he,
looking up at you.
he looks down and says, "Hey, little one."
Kind of reaches his palms up in a give me motion.
Ah. And he will just looking at the rat, and he'll kind of with the little bits that are gathered still inside of the bottle, the last little drops, he like shakes the bottom of the bottle and is like, eh?
Puts a little palms, like, you know how like water, like liquids are viscous, and thus like there's dewdrops if they're small enough.
Yeah.
So you just see like the dewdrops in his hand. He just starts drinking the dewdrop.
Yeah, he gives the rat the helping to, has to.
Is that Tintin's rat?
You can't tell.
Why is it with you?
I find that animals and I have a sort of understanding, to say the least. You spend enough time around them in the wilderness, you learn a thing or two. Every single creature has the same basic needs and wants. When you come to understand those, you begin to understand how to communicate those needs and wants. Of course, you don't meet too many rats that, are looking to get plastered at. And he reaches his hand up to the sky and makes like the clear star mapping hand signal, but he's doing it wrong. And he drops his hand slowly sometime at night. But Reggie's not like a lot of other rats.
What is a star map hand signal?
It's I might have called it wrong, but like sailors, seafarers, and whatnot, you kind of like can line up your, I think it's like your thumb and your pointer to fixate on like a specific constellation. I think it's to point towards the northern star, the North Star. And from that, it's sort of like it's a legend or a ruler, more or less, to kind of keep you, keep your directions and prevent you from getting lost.
Oh, if she noticed he did that wrong, she would correct him probably.
How
Or
would
like try and
you?
help him get it right.
How
Sorry,
would
what'd you
you?
say? Oh, I mean, you would use your hand, right?
Mhm.
I guess she'd grab his hand and try and redirect it? If they're sitting next to each other?
Yeah. It's funny because yeah, there it is. Um it's kind of it's kind of hilarious because for someone like Angel, who you've seen throughout the course of your adventures, oftentimes covered in plants or mud or blood, that you would kind of assume that he smells probably about as bad as he looks often with all the things covering him. But he has this weird ethereal, and you've sort of noticed this from his antlers, namely, but his antlers have been detached as he typically does every single night. And oddly enough, from what you could probably waft from his hair, the sort of curly, almost like seaweed, sprouting from his head, it carries with it the strong scent of ocean with almost floral undernotes lying beneath.
So it doesn't
It's
stink, is
very
what you're
odd.
saying.
It doesn't stink. It smells quite nice, in fact.
She might
And,
take note, but probably wouldn't comment.
It's, yeah, it's kind of when you're sitting next to him though that, oddly enough, with the way that the skull is anatomically, it's on both sides essentially of his face, like kind of a 180 sort of view.
Mhm.
And even though it's odd because a humanoid, you'd expect that he would be kind of looking up and toward. The light, the hard orange light inside of the eye hole of the mask just brightens slowly, like almost like a slight brightening and glow before it dims back, almost as if he looked at you, but you're not entirely sure really because he didn't move his head. And at that, he just finally does tilt his head a little bit, and he just says, "Thanks, Jen." And then
Oh,
he'll
I know a
let his
couple.
hand. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, he just lets his hand drop slowly.
I know a thing or two about stars, so, thought I'd help there.
Is that what you went to college for?
Among other things.
You'll have to teach me some of those things sometime.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, and he'll look back down to Reggie. And I think what he'll do, because I think it's a very funny thing, and assuming that Tim is probably asleep, this will make it even funnier, is that Angel will communicate to Reggie with his own little series of tiny little squeaks before he will just call a decent number of the rats, and he will hand them a bottle. And he'll just say, and in whisper, he'll just say, "Y'all have fun, but make sure not to tell the big man, okay?"
I'll make a roll.
Can I make an animal handling?
Yeah, no. This is an internal roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I mostly wanted to ask him that one specific question while he was drunk, so I've got nothing else unless you do.
All
No.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Tim would probably wake up. To the rats drinking. I don't know if Heath's back yet.
Oh, did Heath BRB? No.
He did. That's fine.
Yeah. I just think Angel is in such a position of the fun, loose rule uncle where he's just like, "Here's this. Don't tell your dad."
Also, I made a roll. One of the rats died from alcohol poisoning.
What?
Hey,
That's crazy.
They got
they
too
should
fucked
have
up.
drank responsibly. And hopefully they won't rat him out.
Haha.
You're gonna
Mhm.
have to leave now.
Understood. Anyway.
This is like giving the beer fridge to a bunch of fucking kids and just like drink. Don't touch it. Only one each.
Only a sip, and the sip is just as big as their entire bodies.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
50% blood alcohol content's like fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Angel has. That's what Angel has. He's flammable.
He wasn't flammable before?
No.
If you drink
I
a
can take that
bunch
story.
of
Wet all the time, isn't he?
if you drink
Well, yes.
Ayo?
a bunch of alcohol and then set yourself on fire, you could become a human Molotov cocktail.
I'm gonna do that right now. Be right
Supernova.
back.
Angel having to stay away from Shathur because with all the alcohol he has in him and on him. It's a legitimate risk.
Mhm. Every single time he touches Shathur, he gets hit by Hellish Rebuke.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
I love perfectly functional parties. We're doing great, guys.
I think I am endeared by the funniness that is like, coming from Unity and having the party generally be kind of a bit of a family unit, and then like, adapting to Miracles, Nikki's campaign, where the party more or less hated each other and frankly was still moving in the direction of getting better, but like they mostly hated each other. Or it wasn't companionable. And now we're like in this nice area where we're kind of all like coworkers that are getting to know each other right now. And like it can get better, but like it's just these different starting points is very funny to me.
Real. There's clicks right now. Mostly all of the rats.
Yeah.
Well, one less right now.
God, I miss Amara.
Damn.
Me
Is that
too.
the rat?
No, it was
No.
my character in Nikki's game.
Mhm. Storm
Far
and I
the
both
rat
I'm
made,
is hard.
sorry.
No, you're
Storm and I
fine.
both made bitchy characters, and they like kind of bit at each other's heels for a bit before somehow a begrudging respect was spread. It was great.
When we wake up like the next day, Apricity will find an opportunity to tell Thea about the conversation with Binky, and then like in excruciating detail, and then say something to the effect of, "If I was a better person, perhaps I would consider talking to Shathor for Binky."
If
But I'm just a fox.
She already did her favor
Alas.
for him. What else is she supposed to do?
I'm offended that she didn't come to Angel for advice.
It's
It
just
would've
who
been
she was
great.
on watch with. I think that
Yeah,
was
exactly.
conversation.
You just rolled the cards.
I know I'm being silly, but yeah.
no, plus
Maybe
she's
she
still
wants-
convinced. She's still convinced Angel's a serial killer.
And
No,
I
no,
can't
no, you
give
just gotta-
serial advice.
No.
I can at least show you how to dismantle Shathur without getting caught. Come on.
She
Wait,
doesn't
wait,
want that.
Wait, I don't like that one.
She doesn't know she wants that.
Oh my
Latent
god.
potential. Okay.
I think just every watch since we're drawing sticks for who it is, Binky can go and ask the advice of every single person in the party how they would talk to Shathur.
That would be a
And then
lot of
lastly,
fun,
she can ask
actually.
Shathur.
How do I talk
Shathur,
to you?
how would you talk to Shathur?
Yeah, I can
Stroke his
totally see
ego
that
and
happening.
stroke his ego and see if
And
that
his
leads
cock.
to stroking other things.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
done.
we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Done.
Wait. What?
Me next.
What? You know, I don't know why I never considered the possibility that y'all would be thirsting over my character. I don't know why that never came into my mind.
I don't know. There's something.
I like
I think it was the contents of Unity, but like it was because Micah wasn't there, so like our sexual core like left. But like
Real.
now
Are
we
you saying
we have
Shathur's your
Angel.
sexual core?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Heave is back.
What's-
Welcome back, Heath.
Yeah,
Wait,
I was still
what-
technically hearing all that. I was just on the phone with my mom.
Oh,
Oh, sorry about the rat.
One of the rats died.
What? Would you killed Drinky?
Yeah, Drinky, he didn't live up to his name. He didn't live at all, actually.
Does Thea say anything back? Just getting back on topic, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what it was gonna be though, but I can message you when I remember.
I can
Oh,
remind
wait,
you what I said if it helps.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Would tell everything, tell Thea basically everything about the conversation that Binky had about, her relationship with Shithor. She'd tell her in excruciating detail, including but not limited to the advice she gave and the comments that she made that went over Binky's head. And then say something to the effect of, if I were a better person, perhaps I would talk to Shithor on Binky's behalf.
But do you not think it could be fun to see how Shaffer reacts?
She starts a sentence and then her smile grows. That could be fun.
You do a favor for Binky, but you could also do it for yourself, Don't need
I
to be a good
hate-
person for that.
I hate to admit it, but I'm starting to enjoy Binky's presence. But if anyone else finds out about it, I will deny it.
I won't tell.
I know. And then I'll make a point to have that conversation with Shithor at some point during travel, but if he's back, he should do something first.
Yeah.
Heath, did you have anything you wanted to do in the morning?
I'm okay. Just we'll keep going.
In that case, at some point, Apricity will mind link with Shithor, keeping Thea in the loop, but will hop down from the bag to give the illusion of a one-on-one conversation.
I'm assuming he can't tell.
No, there's no way for him to tell who's in the link, unfortunately. You could maybe insight Thea's reactions to see if she hears what's going on. But Apricity will walk next to you. Shithor, do you mind if we speak for a moment?
Go ahead. What's up?
I guess there's no easy way to say this. Last night I had a conversation with Binky where she understands that she's cursed and still feels very bad about your interactions with her. The short of it is, she asked me how to get you to like her more.
He blinks. Definitely a little surprised.
I did you a favor, and I told her that perhaps she should let you go to her. Instead of trying to force interactions, you seem like the type who enjoys your privacy, and that's a quality I can respect.
He nods in agreement. I thought I had already made it clear to her that things might get better once the curse is lifted. Can't exactly trust someone who might be inclined even more than she usually is to try to disassemble me.
Yes, I don't think that's quite on her agenda anymore. I likened it to a surgeon trying to take out her eyeballs.
She may not want to, but curses are curses. And I'm not taking an eye off her until she's lifted of it.
And that is completely understandable. Were I in your shoes, I think I would feel the same. I just wanted to let you know.
Don't hate her. Just have some sense of self-preservation. That's stronger than my wish to be friends with her.
And I did tell her that unfortunately for us, growing pains and all, we are stuck together via happenstance of whatever this omen stuff is. So we will grow to, at the very least, tolerate one another. We don't have to all hold hands by the campfire by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even always have hands.
So is this form more convenient for you? And as you said, no hands.
I do appreciate opposable thumbs from time to time. It's not about convenient, it's about comfort. I was born a fox, it is my more natural form. I do find it nice to have thumbs, and walking on two legs and fighting on them is a little weird for me, but oftentimes when Thea and I lived together, I would hang out in my human form because she would like to have me try on clothes for her. And it was more convenient to do it this way.
Oh, no little fox outfits.
Oh, I got plenty of those, she says with like a little bit of a giggle.
And how much do I have to pay Thea to put you in some of them?
If she asks, I will oblige. I'm always willing to entertain her, so it's her you have to convince, not me.
Noted. Well,
Either way.
I appreciate you swapping places and letting me know.
I understand your reservations about Binky. Because I would be the same. I understand your reservations about everyone here because I have some of my own. But for better or worse, we are here to travel together, and I think all of us, begrudgingly or otherwise, could make a little bit more of an effort to learn to travel as a group. I understand that you may be apprehensive because I am also apprehensive myself. So, if you and I can do it, then, or if you can do it, then I can do it, and vice versa. She smiles.
He smiles back a little. So you think we'll be sticking with each other after this mission then?
I believe we won't be given a choice. I think, from what I know about omens, which is a little bit, if I can compliment myself a little, I'm fairly knowledgeable, or at least I wasn't unfamiliar with the concept. The threads of fate have bound us together, with us, and with the exclusion of perhaps one or two of us. Sorry, I'm rambling because I'm trying to find my words. Give me a second. None of that was canon. The gods have decided that we are meant to be together. We were all here in the same place, brought together by fate or deity, whatever it is each and every one of us believe in. So, I think we will have to. I think that all things for a purpose, we were all drawn here by whatever it is that drew us here, and historically, it seems that omens do find each other and have intertwined goals or alignments.
He rolls his eyes. Ah, not sure I still believe the whole omens thing.
About 3 months ago, I noticed that every time I paid Thea a compliment, her wings would glow. About 3 months ago, I noticed that every time I did not want to be bothered, a little bubble would form around me. It's hard to deny something when I've seen evidence of it.
I'm not saying they aren't real, just if all they do is make bubbles, don't see what the big deal about them is. Glowy wings.
Historically, they have granted greater power than that. But it sort of depends. We will have to first figure out what omen we carry. We can't blindly take Alyssa's word as much as I would like to. And we go from there, but it does look like we will be traveling together for a while, so get comfortable.
Suppose.
And I will ensure that you do not get torn apart in your sleep. So if you need an extra pair of ears, I will look out for you.
Appreciate it. I'll try to make sure no other bigger animal tries to make you their supper.
I would like to see them try.
I'm sure you'd taste very bitter.
She
So
like
Taras comes in.
she squints her eyes at that for a moment and then just
He
shrugs.
smirks.
She smiles back. She acknowledges she knows when she's been got. Perhaps.
And, oh, you mentioned the other night about, the, losing memory thing. Oh. We can talk about that sometime if you'd like.
I
Not
would
that
love
I
to
have much to
exchange notes.
tell.
We can tell each other what we remember and work from there.
You know, it's... Well, I'd rather be... sitting down for that conversation at least.
Understood entirely. Sometimes it's nice to know that you are not alone in a situation, even when it can feel lonely. If it had not been for Thea, I don't know how I would have. Well, I wouldn't be here for one, so. I would be
Well-
happy to be. I would be happy to try and be as kind to you as she was to me.
Well, for what it's worth, I am glad you're here.
And I am glad you are here as well. In a world of Binky and Tim Tims, perhaps it is nice to have a few of us thrown into the mix.
Indeed, just try to miss me with your ice field next time.
I am sorry about that. I thought I had a clearing.
Did you think you had a clearing, or were you only looking at your angel?
A little bit of both, if I'm honest. But I also know well enough to know that if anything happened to you, she would not leave you behind. She is kinder than I. I look out for her and she looks out for other people. It works out usually. But I will.
And she didn't leave me behind, no matter how humiliating she saved me.
I will do my best to miss you next time.
Appreciated. I'll try not to launch too many fireballs your way.
My fur is very flammable. She'll smile and then say, I will go back to sleep now. I do prefer that method of transportation to this walking nonsense.
I'm sure you do.
Thank you for indulging me. She'll walk away.
We shall push on to the group chat, so I guess a few days pass. I don't know when you would have this conversation, if you would have it at the cathedral or right before it. But you'd have to deal with some angry bulls that decide to want to attack the party, but that is dealt with fine.
Ooh, our DoorDash is here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they if they want to, they can.
You want them pre-cooked?
Nah.
What is this, Minecraft?
If you kill an enemy with a frozen sword, it becomes cooked meat in your inventory. That's just how it works. That's how real life works too.
Agreed. But I mean, yeah. I mean, for the sake of things, I mean, I thought, remembering, we were gonna do it when we got to the cathedral, right?
You were what, sorry?
I thought
Yeah,
we
I
were gonna
think
have
we
this
said we were gonna
conversation when we
do
were
it at the
getting to
cathedral.
Cathedral?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Storm wanted it earlier.
No, I was just asking.
Okay.
When do you
I've-
give Alyssa the necklace?
Ugh. I don't know. Someone tell me when to do it.
What if Shathur makes us all necklaces and we can all get married?
Oh my
Oh, yeah, we can all
god.
get friendship
Next
bracelets.
Next mission.
Please?
Friendship with benefits necklaces.
Oh.
Please.
I want my polycule.
They're
I am
enchanted
with
too.
you.
I
In
could just choke
Unity.
you all.
Can we find a potion that just makes Thea not straight?
It's Binky has it. It's the love potion.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Binky asking Apricity how she could be better friends with Shathur while she has that, like, girl.
True.
She wouldn't drug him to be friends
But she would disassemble him to be friends.
with his consent.
Listen, if Apricity knew about the love potion, she's just suggesting that 100% of the time.
Oh my god.
She's chucking that bitch at the back of his head while he's looking at her. Oh my god. But yes, I guess cathedral it is. And then conversation.
Go straight to you would along the way on the journey to the cathedral. Eventually, you make your way along the main road. Traveling down, you would see passers-by, people who have come to the cathedral and have vacated after getting what they wanted or needed from there. See several adventuring parties. Other priests, sisters that have left. Some villagers from nearby towns and such, coming for aid and such. Um, a few merchants. Nothing of interest, more like minor wares and such. But eventually you make your way towards the Grand Cathedral of Tast. Would you go straight towards the tavern or towards the actual cathedral itself?
I think Tim's been wanting this curse gone for a while now, so I think it's only right to reward him with moving straight to the cathedral.
You make your way straight towards the cathedral. Uh,
But did they give the necklace on the way, or is she saving it?
I mean, I don't want to take up too much time if people are tired and want to end after that long conversation.
I mean,
I'll
you could
explode you.
ask.
What?
You could just ask. Ninki,
I mean-
Heath, how are we doing?
Hi.
Not great.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, kind of the same.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
get to the cathedral. I guess, do you want to do the group conversation first? Just get that out of the way and...
Is there any chance we could say it happened before the conversation, but we'll roleplay it out after?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, works for me.
Wait, so like what?
What happened when?
This is for Thea giving a necklace to Alyssa.
Mm.
Like, she would have given it to her before they entered the cathedral, I guess, but, you know, I don't want to roleplay that at this very moment because we want to get that other conversation out the way.
Hmm.
Oh my god, we
So-
could do a text RP. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well,
Anyway.
I'd be cool with that.
We
Oh,
know.
Why you say it like that?
No reason. I don't know your history at all.
Crying.
In any case, whoever would like to start off the group conversation, I assume it's possibly Angel at this state.
Okay. Oh, so we are doing this then. I just wasn't
If-
sure.
If Heath and Nikki are down to do it so that in case we miss someone next session, that it's fine.
That
then
is
sure.
also true. Yeah.
But if we're down one, like actually next session, I mean the conversation is just not happening, I suppose.
Okay.
And does anyone know if they'll be missing next session?
Well, no, but life happens.
Things can
so-
change, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Just stop life from happening then.
So true.
That helps.
Died.
Hey, you're the one with
Plus being
gravity
a-
powers and shit.
Plus, being an almost fully neurodivergent group don't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, name one
I take offense
neurotypical
to
in this bitch. I'll wait.
I'm normal.
Hi.
You can't just undiagnose yourself, bitch. Like, what are you doing?
I just did. Unlucky.
L. I'm
They'll
cured.
never diagnose me. I'm too quick.
Are you?
Wow, it's that
Yes.
simple.
Run from the
Exactly.
assessment.
Guys have been cured of everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've actually never been diagnosed with anything to begin with, so I can't undiagnose myself.
Oh, so true.
Damn.
Diagnosed? I think you meant to say diagonal.
Anyways, off track.
Yes.
Proof and point.
I mean, I guess I don't think this conversation is necessarily going to be super duper long. And
No, it probably
as
won't
far
be.
as the continuous attacks on Tim's character, I don't think he necessarily cared to fully participate as opposed to listen. Sorry. Hold on now. Yeah, I mean, you can just go for it. Angel would just sort of open it up with, alrighty, we're finally here. So, I won't take too much time. While you were, let's say, a little peeved, Thea, I decided to take it upon myself to bring up some talking points that Ebricity had enlightened me to, just a little bit. Um, Overall, just making sure that we communicate a little bit better as a group. Did you have any thoughts on that at all?
I feel like if we're gonna be traveling as a group, we should be making decisions as a group. Perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe instead of making rash decisions that then later affect everyone else.
Binky raises her hand.
Yes, Pinky?
Just so to make sure we're all on the same page, are there particular situations that you're referring to?
Well,
You know, he'll gesture towards you, Thea.
Angel stabbing that guy for one.
I mean, did you want me to hug him?
No, I agree with the stabbing thing, actually.
Oh. A problem with my code of conduct, huh? Okay.
You know, I feel like
also
there's
raises her
something.
hand. I also agree.
I just feel like
Yeah.
stabbing and hugging aren't the only options we have. You know, there are many other things.
Choking, hitting, clubbing, whipping.
Talking for one.
Fire.
You can ask a question. No,
Why is
shut
everything
up.
violent?
I'm kidding. But as far as everything was concerned, I don't think I necessarily raised my fist when when fists weren't already raised, personally.
Binky is that doubt meme.
Well, have I?
The guy that was tied up?
Yeah. We were interrogating, right?
Yes.
And I was specifically told to be the bad cop, right?
I mean, that usually means, being the mean person, like insults or calling them bad names or not
Yeah.
stabbing them in the leg and growing stuff from it.
Ah. So, in my experience, whenever people are tied to things, it's one thing if they're just, your average henchman of some cause or belief. Cultists are a different beast altogether. I thought that maybe I needed to apply a little bit more pressure in order to get the answers that we wanted. It worked.
I feel like there's a couple early steps we should take before jumping to that, but I mean, anyone could. If I'm wrong, that's okay.
I think
No,
the
no,
problem
no.
is that. Oh, Jesus. I think the problem is that they seemed like they were going to talk without the violence.
Binky points at her.
I didn't think so.
But isn't that only because we killed a bunch of their friends already?
Alyssa looks down.
We all know who started that trend.
There's immediate deflation.
I'm not trying to justify it, but
He'll raise his hands in a placating gesture, and his smile remains on his face, though, and he just says, "Hey, I'm not here to argue the efficacy. That's not what anybody's trying to argue. I think my methods work, but ultimately, if they're not a big, good fit for the group, I can stop.
Look, sometimes violence is warranted, but I just don't think it should be the first thing we jump to. I feel like that's
Nods.
fair enough.
Now, I admit, I don't have the best memory for a lot of things. Was there room for talking before spells and swords started flying?
Yes. No. Not. Okay, sorry. Yes, but I think Thea was referring to when they were already tied. Fuck!
I'm so sorry.
I think
I hate
Thea
when
was
that
referring
happens.
to when they were already tied up.
All right.
You know, they don't pose much of a threat when they're tied up, do they?
No.
Interesting.
Very. Well, okay.
Are you a serial killer? Sorry, covers her mouth.
That's a fair question.
His face quirks like he wants to say yes for the bit. But he realizes he should be serious, and he just says, depends on who you ask.
Define cereal.
No. No, I'm not.
So if
Insight
I pick up
check.
You're gonna roll nat 1 and just believe he's a murderer. Pretty close.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
I'm going to roll something myself. I just. He just has a very pleasant smile on his face. He seems like he's being something.
A liar.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He just rubs his hands together. Look, I'll be as candid as can allow. I have always been someone who does whatever I think will yield the best results. I know that for a lot of people, it can be off-putting to some, and that's something that I try to stay sensitive to. Problem is, I don't really get the chance to be around people for, well, a lot at all. Eventually, the little adventures that my own party had, they ended, and suddenly, I was traveling by myself for a while. Now, you experience the things that I do, you learn that you have to do a lot of specific things in order to survive. I like
Where
efficacy. No. All I'm saying is why. Because from what I understand, and he gives a sideways glance towards Binky, and his teeth flash a little bit more. Um, some of y'all don't exactly understand why I am the way that I am. This is my attempt at explaining. I have no qualms with consulting and being more sensitive about the way that I handle about things as long as this group is here. I want y'all to feel like you can trust me, that you can be safe with me. If I ain't doing that as it is, then that's my weight to bear. I'll do better.
Okay.
Looks towards the others.
Whereabouts are you from, Angel?
Hmm?
Whereabouts are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, that city of a bunch of things that stand like humanoids, talk like humanoids, but as far as classifications,
What?
beast folk, darling.
No, I asked where are you whereabouts? Where are you from?
What's
Yeah,
your
that's he
hometown?
said Wildheart. He said Wildheart. He's from the
What?
city. Or am I misremembering the name of it?
No, I might just not know what it is.
Yeah, Wildheart is the city of like beast folk, like Tabaxi
Oh,
and other shit.
Okay.
Any other questions? Didn't realize that this was a well, an interrogation of its own.
I do have a question for everyone.
She side glances Tim and then looks at everyone else.
How many of us here have actually, taken a life?
Alyssa looks away and holds up her hand gingerly.
It's my first, I
Before
swear.
before the cult thing.
She puts her hand back down.
Depends, of course, on what you consider a life.
Humanoid, I presume?
This sentient
yeah.
being with communication?
Yeah,
I am a talking fox.
Looks at
a
Angel.
sentient being.
Oh, never before.
I'm responding to the humanoid comment.
Oh yeah, Tim
Ah.
corrected that by saying sentient creature with communication.
So once again, Angel.
Oh, me? Never before in my
Oh,
life.
he's not. Sorry, he's not looking. I'm just.
Yeah, they're just mocking.
Okay.
When you can talk with all animals.
So,
Oh,
is that no
so
one
true.
here?
No one here is what?
Taken a life before.
I mean,
Shrugs.
I
don't know if
have.
that's a yes.
She's about to question it and then immediately shuts her mouth. Looks at a Persidy and gives a thumbs up.
Tim just has that blank look on his face. The horror. The horror.
I'm confused. What's the purpose of this question?
She just wants to know if you were killing people before this whole thing started.
I thought this was a question directed to everybody.
Yeah, nobody else raised
Yeah,
their hand.
Fia's hesitantly going to.
Persidy smiles at her.
Huh?
That's my girl, the killer.
Yeah, kill him.
She does not look. I guess she looks ashamed, kind of.
There's this one time in college.
It's all the
You
best
know how
stories.
girls are.
Yeah.
She's avoiding
There was-
eye contact.
There was a bagel boggin in college, and
Oh
I
my
just
God.
fucking hated that guy.
Yeah. He said something about his dad being some sort of inventor. Like, too, right? Fuck him.
Okay, so before all of this, at least half have and half haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's an important thing to at least have the party be aware of, is that half hasn't.
And looks towards Tim and then towards the others again.
So, the thought of taking lives doesn't come very easily.
Yeah.
So, this is just sort of to push the point, I guess, of with future or altercations, unless of course there's no other way, or if someone's in trouble or extenuating circumstances, we try to avoid doing that if possible.
You have my promise.
She's gonna insight check that.
I need to navigate back to my shit.
Deception check. Yeah.
You can't tell.
Poor Binky.
Usually she just believes everyone at their word. She's so suspicious of angels.
Well, the stabbing in a leg thing.
Yeah.
There's been some red flags.
Holy fuck!
All right. All right.
Yeah. What about you, Shither?
His face turns more stormy as he tightens his crossing of his arms.
Look, I'm not saying you can't, do what you gotta do, but could we make it maybe like Plan C?
I'll try to non-lethally use my fire next time. Sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe just like a hot iron sort of thing.
Next time you want to go and stand in the front line, you can start making the decisions about that.
I mean, we could put it. But go ahead, Nikki.
Oh, did I misunderstand?
She's just kind of mumbling to herself.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was sort of half and half, but maybe it's more tilted in the direction of most here have.
She kind of thinks for a moment, kind of pointing at Tim, then at Alyssa, and then looks towards Apricity.
Have you done that before?
Me?
Yeah.
I've yet to kill someone, although I'm not opposed to the idea.
Okay, so then that's 3 people who don't have any experience with that. So I do think it's important to keep in mind.
I want to propose something to you, Harley.
Yeah, sure.
Someone is being generally kind of unpleasant and is sort of harassing Thea inside of a tavern. They go out back to take a piss.
They don't come back.
Yeah, they do not come back. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thankfully,
saying.
that's not happened that we know of, so
Okay.
that's
No one
why
found the bodies.
Apricity,
There's no one convicted of a crime.
Like,
that's why Apricity said she's not opposed to the idea. She never said under what circumstances.
was like, what counts as a life? Like a person with
What
wants
is a
and
person
dreams,
really, right?
or a complete and utter dirtbag, undeserving of their next breath? You're gonna have to be more specific.
Poor bastard bumps into Thea, doesn't say excuse me. Next thing you know, you just see an icicle like fucking.
Oh my god.
If they slight Thea, they're not a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
If Thea was a server, she would get tipped by every single customer she has and never understood why.
At least the repeat customers.
The ones that make it.
Yeah.
Apricity is the kind of girl who goes back every day just to tip her $100, doesn't eat anything, leave.
Oh my god.
Correct.
And holds everybody who doesn't at gunpoint. Honestly, get you a friend like Apricity. That's great.
True.
Honestly, yeah.
Friend.
Roommates, same thing.
Roommates.
Yeah.
And they were roommates.
Okay.
Exactly.
He is
But-
straight. Like I don't know what to tell you guys. You can keep shipping. Like you know.
I know. I'll dream.
I've been faced with straight characters before. Okay, I am a level
I've cured
100
many.
Fujo. I am a level 100 Fujo. I will never let that stop my imagination. Okay. I will
Okay, look.
respect the source material. I will respect the source material, but my headcanons remain sacred. I'm kidding.
I have changed the sexualities of my characters before, but Apricity's fox first, woman second. Okay.
Yeah, there's a line.
Correct.
We're
That's
passing
more appealing.
over from sex to fur or gay to furries. So.
Bestiality, darling.
Back to the
They're
conversation.
besties. Let them be.
Back to the conversation. Yes.
Anyway,
They hate to see a woman with hobbies like
Honestly.
killing for her bestie.
But yeah, I guess wait, I think the last thing literally was just more interrogation on Pinky's side and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out like how many people here have actually like never killed before. She thought it was half and half, but I guess now it's more just 3 people.
Technically,
Killed
that's still
before
half
the-
and half.
Yeah.
Hard to get half with 7 people.
Do the rats count?
The rats have a fucking hit board.
Yeah.
They got a death pool.
They're assassins.
Rat assassins.
They're the Skaven, man, just going around.
Anywho,
Alright, I just wanted to bring it up just because, taking a life for the first time is very traumatizing.
And looks towards Alyssa and then back to the rest of the group.
as you say that, she's just 1,000 yards staring.
I just imagine her and Tim have been doing that like most of this conversation at this point. From here, it's just like Pinky has missed
So
all
I
the
just-
drama.
I just want to be mindful of those people here.
No, I agree. Yeah, I'm gonna say something a little bit shocking, but well, I completely agree. I think only a very specific group of people find killing enjoyable, to say the least. I ain't one of them.
did you say I am or I ain't?
Ain't.
I didn't. Okay. Just making sure I caught that right.
You know, maybe I'm not ready after all.
Tintin just kind of looks over at her because I'm not even sure if I'm ready at this point.
You did the best you could.
I mean, and now we've vocalized here that going forward, we'll make an effort not to kill people.
And then
Um,
she glances at Shathur and then away.
Or set them on fire.
Chithur's not looking at her. He his
I should throw-
as before, his arms are completely crossed. His
Sulking.
shoulders are raised. He's not sulking. It looks more like he's bristling.
Oh.
You silly organics and your meaning of life.
Are you any good up close?
Oh fuck! Jesus. Sorry, mosquito hawk jump scared me.
Oh God, I hate those bitches. I hate them so fucking much. Okay, sorry. No,
I mean, I
I'm
love
gonna
them
get
because
mad.
they're gonna deal with mosquitoes, but
They don't. They don't. That's the thing. They don't. They're so useless.
I'm gonna turn on my lights so it's not.
They're
turning
called
my screen
they're called
anymore.
crane flies. Their entire thing is they ditz around, bumbling about loudly and showingly. They fuck in the air and then they die later. That's their entire function.
That's the life.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that a hint of
Honestly.
jealousy I smelled?
Eh.
I will not confirm nor deny anything.
My light is on, so hopefully it'll be attracted to that instead of my screen and my dinner.
Yeah, that's the one bug I cannot stand. Just fucking. Oh yeah. Let me calm down. But yeah, Angel said to Shithor, Shithor, are you any good up close?
Yeah, why? I suppose.
Yeah, just seemed a bit hesitant as far as non-lethal is concerned.
Once again, I can't exactly control how much my fire burns. But if you want to have an opinion on the matter, you can go ahead and go in the front line. See how you
Already
take
well.
getting beat to a pulp.
Yeah, so far I've done pretty well for myself, must say so. What I'm saying though,
Now's not the time to brag about your combative achievements. Shithor is making a point that for him, it was either kill or be killed. He was worried for his safety, which is a valid response. I think you, of all people, would understand.
oh, that's what he was saying.
If you listened.
I did.
But did you understand?
Nope, not at all.
If I have to choose between myself and my allies or the enemies, I think I know which choice I will make every single time. But if you have a problem with it, maybe I just won't save you next time. In fact, you can just fucking die.
That makes
Who's he
Angel
saying that to?
grin. That makes Angel
Angel.
grin ear to ear. Actually. Oh man. Okay. And he just leans back a little bit. I was going to go forward with the idea that, maybe I could have helped in any specific way, but I admit I was not expecting to offend you there. I apologize.
He rolls his eyes.
Insight check.
On who?
Angel. Does he really apologize?
Actually, I would like. Oh, wow.
Time for me to.
Damn.
I don't believe it's a real apology.
Yeah, you guys
Me too.
can't.
I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm
Jesus
just
Christ.
curious.
I didn't even roll that good.
Yeah, but I know your stats decent.
So fucking
Actually, I think your
funny.
minimal's a frickin' 9?
Wait, for what?
For your deception, if that's what you're rolling. Because now you're proficient, but you use your wisdom's modifier. So I guess it'd be a 6.
Yeah. Remember, I have flat flat charisma, so whatever I would have a thing in, it would be a +5.
Yeah.
Actually.
Storm, why have you cursed me? I don't want it.
So Binky literally cannot read you. You rolled a nat 1, you beat Binky.
I'm so sorry.
I haven't rolled a single good roll. Okay.
That's okay. If it makes you feel better, the curse is back on Saturday's game on Storm.
Yeah.
That's good.
I also had a terrible night last night playing Betrayal where I had a really good position. And then where they couldn't reach the enemies, like the civilians they needed to save, and then I pulled the one tile that connected to the rest of the entire map. And I was like, oh, my coffin is now available to be beat up by everyone. Okay. But anyways.
Yeah. Angel, he's always a little bit slow with his facial expressions in some instances, and his smile as it grew before, seemingly perhaps in reaction or from something else in the environment as the conversation took a turn, his face slowly calms back down to that placating closed mouth smile that he normally does instead of a grin. And he just, he already apologized, so he leaves it at that. So, as far as my conduct, suppose I should just ask more questions as to doing these things, or I mean, I can eyeball it, obviously, but you know, I'll try to be a bit more responsive as far as you know. How hard should I push? Let's say. For you, though, and he looks over towards Alyssa this time. Uh, it is true what Binky says. We can be a lot better as far as making sure that we don't, you know, that this doesn't happen again. But even a promise between 7 people, it can only go so far. Do you think you could stomach if things like this happened again?
I don't know.
Or furthermore, if it ends up being you again?
What? Me killing someone?
Yeah. That's something to think about.
I know a lot of these situations are very difficult, and I understand what Shitha is going through. I know for at least in my own case, I can only rely on my magic. And if I came down to it and I needed to defend myself, I would have no option but to kill. That's why I don't know if I'm ready.
No. Whatever your answer is, you won't be judged by nobody. There ain't nothing shameful of admitting if a life isn't cut out for you. I was raised with adventure in mind. Not killing, sure, but difficult decisions, difficult and stressful situations. Those are regular, but for a lot of people, may not always be the case.
What the cultists were going through, at least some of them, really opened my eyes out to all the hurt that is going on in that world, in our world of ours. And I want to be able to help them. But I don't know if I'm strong enough to help them.
You're probably not. It covers her mouth.
Can we take care of this curse already?
I'll bring a priest over.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Sorry.
curse or not,
Walk away
And
for a moment.
he'll speak up before she does. He just says, curse or not, depending on what that answer means for you, make peace with either possibility. Even people who have been at this life for several years, sometimes they find an incident that makes them retire. Ain't no shame. But yes, let's get this fixed. And he'll turn to Binky and flash his usual grin.
Come on, Biggie, let's go find a priest.
She's still covering her mouth.
Let's go find God.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Timothy just finds the first priest and says, "Hey, you got remove curse!"
The first priest you would find would probably not be still capable of casting that level of magic.
I wonder if we can find that young girl that can, like, reverse time.
You can roll me a perception check.
Oh, goody. Yeah, because that's what Timson's best at. Where's my character sheet? Perception. 13. Not bad.
You wouldn't be able to see her, at least within where you are currently.
I mean, I was more intention of like an investigation and asking around than just like glancing, but yeah.
Oh, I'm more. I thought you meant you were specifically seeing if you spot her.
No, I just like he was just kind of like saying that out loud, but you know, I mean, he'd ask, right? I mean,
But by the time that you would be able to get to her, uh, um, Alyssa would return with Salnea.
okay.
Well, it seems like you have all returned from your rather eventful travels, from at least what I've heard. Here, let me take care of your curse.
That'd be
She'll
appreciated.
Thank
walk
you.
up, place a hand on Binky, and you see this kind of, as she utters the incantation, you see this kind of dark purple black matter kind of pull away as it's kind of revealed in this aura around Binky, and it pulls away from her into Salnea's hand as she kind of holds it up, and then it kind of dissipates. There. It should be that curse gone.
Pats herself down.
By the way you said it, it sounds like she's got another one in there.
Misphrasing. But
Leah,
Yes?
should we? Fuck. What is my?
What am I doing tonight? I don't know.
Should
I'm
we
thinking
fuck?
of escaping.
No thanks.
Look, we've been over this. We're just friends.
Perhaps it is.
And she's saying this in everyone's head except for, the people. Like the Salnea.
Perhaps we should ask about the omens.
Maybe.
Just something to keep in mind.
I said this to everyone. Like everyone heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Uh,
I agree. The more information, the better.
I mean, it's up to you guys, really.
I guess what is it we want to learn about?
Hmm. I'm interested a little bit more in the, say, duration. Curious. Alyssa, is she still with us, right?
Yeah, she's standing with Salnea.
Alyssa, you said something along the side of what? That it can leave? Or what causes it to leave versus stay?
The omens?
Yeah.
She'll look over towards Salnea.
Yes,
If
that
you are
can-
Speaking about the omens, the longevity of how long it remained with was in regards to their potential of achieving something greater. For what the gods currently have brought you all together, I think while you stay together, it shall remain until for, well, quite some time.
Good to know.
Usually the length can vary, at least in regards to one's potential, often between a year to 5 years, perhaps, give or take. But when one's potential to achieve something that is perhaps greater than themselves, it moves on. For example, should one of you believe that this life is no longer something you should pursue, and perhaps retire, move on to something quiet, it moves on. It is fickle and unfortunately very unpredictable like that.
Is there a shortest documented time that a omen bearer kept on to this? Why, did somebody have one for a day? For example.
There is possibilities that omens could have received it for a day, achieved something phenomenal within that day, and possibly perished, or something had happened to them that it moved on within the very day.
That's also
Or they
possible.
simply chose that it wasn't for them.
I suppose it's also possible
Yeah,
that some people are omens and never know it.
Exactly. And when they don't know it enough, at least it's not enough to act upon pushing towards a something greater, that it moves. Doesn't necessarily mean you can do things without it.
Interesting. And his foot kind of starts ambiently tapping. Anybody else had any questions? Hello?
Are we supposed to get paid for this job?
Yes, there is a payment for your efforts.
Oh, and what is the method as far as getting Binky here away from the curse?
I think she already did it.
She
I very-
did, yeah.
Oh, whoops. Strike that from the record, please.
In terms of your payment, I would like a bit of a debriefing in regards to what had occurred from you all. I wish to hear of your recount. But in terms of payment, let me...
Just imagine Binky's recount is just bitching about Bagel Bogging the whole time.
You're not wrong.
300 gold each.
That'll buy a lot of cheese.
Percy will say in everyone's mind, can we go now, our separate ways for a little bit?
Sounds good to
Percy,
me.
do you want
Oh.
to explore? We can take the rest of the day and reconvene later.
And she'll like give a bit of a look to Thea with like a smile.
Fia will just nod.
If you have any other questions, feel free to come find me. But whenever one of you wishes to debrief me on what had occurred, feel free to.
I mean, if you want, I can.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to actually go through it properly, or do we just bypass the storm? That's the question.
I mean, what kind of story are we telling her?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the cliff notes of what you tell her.
So the clip notes you tell her is like, first off, we found out that they were that the cult was. We found the cult. They were apparently had some split up in two for a bit, but the other side of the cult. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been like a month or two, but like the other side of the cult said they took out, like they killed the cult that split from them, right? Or they went after them at least.
The people who tried to take some seeds and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the impression they took care of them.
Yeah.
He would tell them that
died.
he tells them about the whole thing with the their goal of pretending to, like, oh, we're building golems for the good of people, as we were trying to both bluff each other. And then we kind of discovers, like, oh no, yeah, they're crazy. They actually plan on like the cult has like 15 different like purposes. Nobody in the cult seemed to have the same goal. They're all just being manipulated by the head up guy. But the main goal seems to be absolute death and destruction. But Tim2 would mention that, like, yeah, but he figures that, no, that's probably not the case. There's more to this, like, control, death, and destruction, which is the way to get these hurt people to follow them. He'd also mentioned the letter they found.
You mentioned okay. You mentioned the names of the gods that they had spoken of.
Yeah.
Okay. She frowns at the mention of those names.
He'd also remind them that they have lots of prisoners for them to, you know, talk to and see what they can get out of them.
Talk to her.
You fucking get out right now.
Evisceration immediately. Kill shelter now.
In any case. That is concerning indeed.
Oh, and I guess... Okay, though there's no reason, you know, actually there's no reason this wouldn't be brought up despite what Tim might want. He would mention they have the staff, obviously, because the person holding the staff would almost definitely mention that at some point.
She'll pull it out and at that, Selnea seems to recoil from a moment in like repulsion from the staff being pulled out. You can put that away right now.
You shouldn't whip it out in the place of chastity.
She just glares at you.
Angel chokes back a laugh, coughs instead. It's very good.
Don't bring that item out under this cathedral, Alyssa. That's blasphemy. Right. Sorry. It's fine.
Wait, why is that a
seems you're-
blasphemy?
Would you prefer that we took it off your hands?
No, I would not prefer you take it off our hands. In fact, we will gladly covet that.
All right. Though you wouldn't happen to be willing to enlighten us on the blasphemous nature of this thing.
She
I know
seems
it's-
contemplative.
Yeah, he adds, it's obviously making you upset, and I wouldn't be asking if I didn't at least think that it would give us more insight as to what we ourselves are dealing with. Please?
I have wondered about the nature of why you all had been gathered, and why some of that information has been omitted to myself and other high priestesses here. It is clear that this is a concerning factor. What you had all encountered are cultists belonging to that of 2 dead primeval gods. Those were the gods that, well, the current gods have slain to rise to the ascend to their current position. Those were the gods, the ones who are now dead, are the ones who implicated, divined, I would like to call them curses, but rules in place that have restricted us from millennias. And despite their deaths, they continue to bring ruin, it seems.
Kind of like their echoes?
Somewhat. Their forms were incredibly powerful in the fact that any piece of it is powerful enough to create items, magical artifacts, imbue power beyond imagination.
Wait. Am I misunderstanding? This is supposed to be a piece of a god?
Pieces of 2 gods. That is what the staff is.
And remind me, Storm, when I rolled that high roll to understand like the arcane nature of it. What 2 elements did you say it was?
Creation and destruction,
Creation
wasn't it?
and destruction.
Interesting. Would I understand creation and destruction to be more like a domain? Like this, or is it like, is it basically what I'm trying to see is like, is that something that like all gods sort of have like a jurisdiction over, or is this like kind of very specific energy?
These are it's more like specific energy you felt. From what you, I guess, understand from the gods, no one has either of those domains.
Ooh. So
There's life, but it's
Yeah.
not the same.
okay.
There's death, it's not destruction. You know.
To me, what that sounds like is that they're not just dead gods, but they seem to be dead, powerful gods. Because creation and destruction are pretty large.
They're kind of
domains.
primeval forces.
Yeah, yeah. That's not good. So then Angel will just say, then the way that it looks at, you think, has any instances like this made themselves known? Is there a backlog of a bunch of things like this, or is this the first time that a piece of a god, a dead god, waltzed itself into this cathedral or any other cathedrals?
No, there
Are
have
there
been other
others?
recorded instances, but I've never seen the combination of two. That is the problem.
Hmm.
And very much creation and destruction.
That is interesting. So, you think us here being brought together, you think that's maybe has something to do with this? And he points at the staff.
Yes.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's probably something that you can really tackle right now.
Yeah.
In any case, from what you have told me, your leads have escaped, which is fine. We have what we need. You've prevented any further issues. I will probably get this identified, and
Yeah, that
I
It didn't
assume.
work.
Hmm?
that identification
Identify didn't
doesn't
work.
work. Yeah.
Then we will have other methods of identifying more powerful artifacts. It perhaps might have a spell preventing it from being identified, and we will purge it of that spell.
Maybe it's because it's conjoined.
Maybe it's because like
That
it's a
could also be the
god item.
case. God items can usually be identified. My best guess is that it's probably veiled under a guise of enchantment magic or illusion,
I was thinking if
preventing it from
both of them
being
was combined, it might be something entirely new altogether. That was
possibly.
my first guess.
But for now, thank you for sharing that with me. You don't need to feel like matters of this are perhaps concerning for the meantime. I do have another matter, but you don't have to feel like you have to take that either. Are free to journey as you wish. If you choose to take up another task, or go wherever you like, then we will dispatch a group of sisters to handle matters. And she will go into detail about the town, Stuttergate, and the shenanigans that are happening there with the missing children. And I assume you guys are like, no, we just want to go to the city.
Yeah, I think that was the agreement we just R&R.
Yeah.
I suppose,
No.
though, for fullness, they'd get more detail on it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was like that wasn't being able to be proposed because Alyssa had no information of that because this only just happened recently. Which is why I basically set it out of character last session to be like, what are you guys doing? There's this thing. Just so I could know what to prep for.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are heading towards the sea, and that's fine. Lovely. If that is the case, we shall send sisters to deal with that matter. If you're heading to Empress's Port, I would advise that you all spend your time, at least, recovering from what you had experienced.
Yeah, probably a good idea. It's been a while since I've been to Empress Port.
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
What do you know about that god?
Why do you ask?
Curiosity?
I know enough, but I don't know if I feel like it's the right time to share that information.
Fair enough.
This is information that shouldn't be known to the public, and I've been wrestling with the possibility of what might be that it would call upon gods of different kinds to bring omens gathered for a task. It seems like it is justified.
Do you even know which omen we all carry?
The gods have spoken to me of which ones you have, yes. Do you wish me to divulge that information?
I wouldn't have asked if I didn't.
Well, in the case of you, Empressity, you are, funnily enough, you and Thea are an odd case.
Persidy looks at Thea, like, with a squint.
Oh, how do you mean?
Neither of you share that common, well, 14, the 7 sins nor the 7 virtues. Persidy, you have acedia. Similar to sloth, but more so in the fact that you are uncaring.
I don't think that sounds right.
She says with a smirk.
It's for certain things. Doesn't necessarily have to be for... It manifests in a way that perhaps where you might be caring for something, looks towards Theo, you might have less empathy for others. And in Thea's case, what might seem like pride is actually vainglory. Pride is a... Pride
How do they-
is
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
of achievement, perhaps one's own prideful self in what they do, who they are, and perhaps maybe their appearance. It varies. Vainglory is about attention.
That doesn't sound right.
She says, smirking at Thea.
That might explain a couple of things, perhaps.
Like the cute way your wings glow when you are complimented.
I don't know what you're
Very-
talking about.
Very cute
Speak-
indeed.
Speaking of
Do they
pride,
glow?
Shetha, you are the holder of pride.
That doesn't sound right. Persidy says
Hmm.
this time, giving Binky a quick wink.
He just hums.
Binky. You are the wielder of gluttony. Are you feeling dead?
I'm very dead.
That's fair.
I knew those
But I
cupcakes would
want to
catch
be
up to you,
involved in
Binky.
this.
We can stop it at the end of her giving her insights, and I mean, we've hit
A
2.5.
Persidy would want to ask how they differ. Like, would want to ask her how, like, the Vainglory and Acidia differ.
From the other set. Yeah, that's fine. She'll finish off with, and Angel, you. What? I'm not sure if you are most likely able to tell, but me trying to fucking remember the name because I'm blanking.
Diligence?
Yes, correct. Brain, thank you.
It-
Also, Lion, thank you.
I mean,
Well, Lion, I didn't know you were Storm's brain. That's got to be
Oh my God.
disorienting for you. Good luck.
I'm so sorry, Storm.
That's a full-time
Without-
job.
without spoiling anything, it makes sense because I imagine his signature or whatever would be a little bit faint.
Diligence is yours, Angel.
All right.
Persidy looks to Alyssa with a smile.
You did pretty good, all things considered.
There were theories amongst some of the other sisters here. It's a fun little game.
As
We
for
were here for
that.
5 minutes and we were being gossiped about? God.
Yeah, Salneo just kind of stares at Alyssa, and she kind of... We purport. Salneo sighs, looks back at the group. As for how Acedia...
Bye-bye, Nikki.
and-
Hey, Nikki.
Goodbye. Hope you feel
Nikki.
better. Get sleep. As for how Acedia and Vainglory differ, usually they remain dormant until someone who feels like someone who fits perhaps that specific omen appears. Whereas each other of the other 14 omens must move on. The other two, there can be times when they don't appear for quite some time.
Picky omens,
You-
then.
Do you think that perhaps our closeness had something to do with it?
Perhaps.
Persidy looks at Thea with a smile.
I always knew we were more special than everyone else.
You can't say that out loud. Well, I guess you didn't. Never mind.
Persidy gives her like a wink.
But those two omens have also been wielded by previous demigods as well.
Any demigods in particular?
Vainglory was wielded by Lyphala, and Acedia was wielded by Crona. Actually,
Interesting.
gluttony was also wielded by Demira, which finishes off the trifecta of the Maya's demigoddesses, funnily enough.
Hmm. Well, thank you for the information.
My pleasure. If there's anything else you wish to ask, feel free to. Oh, and I must request those books that you had borrowed when you had left to be returned.
I remember.
Just making you
Every-
all aware. Not the ones you stole.
Yeah, Tintin knows it.
All right, fess up. Who lost their book along the way?
No, you're gonna get a library fee.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the thing. I was thinking
Who
about
burnt their
lying
book
about
into
it, but
ashes
Can't
along the
find-
way?
they can't find us if we don't have a library card.
True. I never registered my address actually. Like,
Yeah, who are they gonna send a fine to? Elbows up.
I don't have a birth certificate.
You have a manufacturer's date, though.
yeah, and it's actually on his ass. Is kind of the thing.
It's a tramp stamp.
Who's looking at his ass?
Me, I am not
Right.
Apricity, but me, Carly, the
I mean,
player.
if anyone
Of
could, it is
course.
a Apricity since he does wear like a blacksmither's like.
Apron.
God, what?
Or
yeah,
Binky.
apron.
I imagine she's at eye level.
Blacksmith.
Apricity is at the perfect position to look up at Shathir's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Oh
real.
my god.
They're technically at the perfect position to look at everybody's
It's a
ass.
good one.
Buns of steel.
Um,
Sculpted.
Yeah, I believe it. Everyone in this group, please DM me your party ships. I need to know. Unrelated, including but not limited to Storm. Ow, fuck.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
don't
know
know
ship
what's
too.
going.
You think I ship characters?
I think you have to.
I have to?
Yeah.
You must. It's a requirement.
I do as a DM. I've got a player and on player ship, and I will do everything to make it happen.
I don't.
Well, you should start then.
Kat's
kind of a-
Kat's nervous because she's
a-
trying to figure out who it is.
I'm
Why
a
am I-
prolific.
No.
I'm a prolific multi-shipper that's also very non-committal. So I'm kind of just like I can see all sorts of things happening.
Do we want to stop there? By the way.
Yeah. I don't want to leave Nikki out.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
there'd be only
Mm.
one thing just to remember for next week, though. We don't have to do it, but
Mm.
Tim would probably ask her if, in private, what's going on with his whole turning into people with his magic, even though he's not using his magic thing. Like we know the reason why, Storm, but Tim doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. We can also do that next week.
Yeah. But yeah, Nikki probably want to be there for that anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, and she would say that Tim doesn't have. Well, Dinky doesn't have one.
Yeah, we established that earlier anyway, so he knew.
But yeah.
But does Reggie?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Reggie could be lust. Let's be honest.
What?
No, he's Wrath.
He's Wrath, yeah. For the Wrath
Wrath.
Wrath. Wrath.
Rat. The Wrath Rat. He's the Wrath Rat.
Mhm. Angel
There's
didn't
a-
realize that giving Reggie the alcohol
you
was
know what?
actually the only thing that meant he kept his life that night.
Yeah. I was so tempted, like, when everyone was raising her hand, just Reggie raises his hand and just, like, Tim looking shocked.
Before he met Tim.
Yeah. By the way, Storm, if you want to make Reggie an omen, I give you permission.
I'm not.
I know, but
That's
But
so
what
fucking
about-
funny.
But what about pesto?
No.
Oh.
The one
Like-
timeline that the omens just happened to landed upon rats, because why not? And they were just like, you know what? Let's put in a bunch of rats, see what happens.
hey, I mean, Tim's halfway making these rats like a fully sentient colony, so.
Mhm.
Fucking hell.